All right. My talk today is what's love got to do with it? And I mean, you can see that we're all still resonating and holding this idea of Valentine's Day as we're all in this, not everyone, but there's so much red in here, which is great because it is the symbol of love. It is the symbol of heart. It is that symbol of life. In fact, when we read of the allegory of Jesus turning water into wine, wine is the vital force of life. It is the metaphysical representation of life's flow. It is red. It is beautiful. It's not about the consumption. It's about who we are as that vital flow of life. So, the yes that is love, the love that is yes. I want to tell you about someone. We are in the midst of Black History Month, and as I was putting this talk together of what's love got to do with it, and I think really the title should be what's yes got to do with it, and they're kind of the same thing. I came upon this wonderful story. When Mae Jemison told her kindergarten teacher she wanted to be a scientist when she grew up, the teacher assumed she meant she wanted to be a nurse. Now, growing up in Chicago, young Mae watched the Apollo missions with fascinations, but she was frustrated that there were no women astronauts. And I remember as a kid, my mom getting us up at the break of dawn to watch the launches. Anybody else remember watching those launches? It was such a big deal. Still, something inside of Mae whispered yes to the stars, even though there were no women astronauts. Her parents told her, if you can dream it, if you believe it and work hard for it, anything is possible. That sacred yes carried her through Stanford University, through Cornell Medical School, through serving as a Peace Corps doctor in Africa. So when she returned to the United States in 1985, she made a career change and decided to follow a dream she had nurtured for a long time. She applied to NASA's astronaut program. Now, the Challenger explosion delayed selections, but she reapplied in 1987 and was one of 15 chosen from 2,000 applicants. On September 12, 1992, Mae Jemison became the first African-American woman in space. Her advice to us, never be limited by other people's imagination, and never limit others because of your own limited imagination. And so what I know is that we often allow others to map their imagination, their limitations onto our journey. But more than that, we often map our imagination, our limits onto somebody else's journey. And it's very interesting to look at the ways in which that flow, that yes, that love gets tightened. It gets tightened so that we're not actually mapping our lives according to the great imagination, the limitless power and presence, that flow of life within us. And so that's what I really want us to look at today. So when we talk about the still small voice within, sometimes we forget that that voice, which is the voice of yes, it is the voice of love, it speaks to each of us in uniquely personalized ways. Mine is going to be so much different than yours. And we also have a different way of responding. And so sometimes that voice is going to be an image. It's going to be a picture. It might be going on a walk one day and seeing something in a garden you've never seen. It might be a message on TV. It might be a book that falls from a shelf. I don't know what it is for you, but what I do know is Lao Tzu wrote these words, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And that single step, I believe, is that when we begin to acknowledge and to be willing to hear the divine yes from within us, however that shows up, then that journey begins. Now, I think that we get the message, the yes, and it comes in pieces, in inch by inch, piece by piece, with glimmers. I find glimmers on the journey, and that is the encouragement. That is the affirmation that there is a movement, that there is a shift. For Mae Jemison, it was the glimmer of those stars in the night sky. those were the glimmers. That's a pretty wonderful, mystical glimmer. That's beautiful. But your glimmer might be something else. It might be your passion for saving animals. It might be your passion for numbers. It might be your passion for loving people. It might be your passion for service. I don't know what your glimmer is, but it is important that we begin to be aware and to notice and discipline ourselves to look for the glimmers. So, believe it or not, all of us are here this morning because we heard a sacred yes. Now, some of you might have been volunteered or voluntold to come here. And it might have been from someone else's sacred yes, but I'm going to say that on some level, your soul participated in that and got you here, because no one's in their pajamas, as far as I can tell. So you did get here, and that's what matters. So these glimmers that we get, you might get one in this service on the way home. I don't know what it will be for you. And for astronaut Mae Jemison, her journey of 1,000 miles did begin with a single step, and it was noticing and never forgetting or denying the glimmer of those beautiful stars. So her yes was the stars. Her love was the stars. What is yours going to be? What is your yes? What is it that's trying to reach you, that's trying to say, hey, wake up, I've got something here for you. And it's going to bless you in incredible ways. It's going to expand you. There's an idea from Buckminster Fuller, and you've heard me say this before. You never change things by fighting the existing reality. To change something, build a new model that makes existing models obsolete. Now, this applies to the micro and the macro. It absolutely applies to our own lives, because often we try to dismantle all the stuff that we think is broken or not working, rather than being led by the vision. And by the way, there are those times when we are being pushed by the pain and we forget to listen and to respond to that pull by the vision, that pull by the love, that pull by the yes. And our call is to perhaps notice, yeah, there's some pain here. What is it telling me? Is there something that is emerging? Is this the sign of a birth? Is this the sign of a birth? You know, when we midwife a new idea within ourselves, it's not always going to be easy and comfortable. Just as when a midwife is with someone who is literally giving birth, it's painful. It can be very painful and messy. I took the easy way. I adopted our son. And listen, there was pain. Trust me, there was pain. It wasn't the physical pain, but there were stretches that Charlie and I had to make. There were expansions we had to make. There was growth we had to make, and that meant going beyond the existing paradigms, the existing ideas, and moving beyond the limitations that other people placed around us. What do you mean you're going to Russia to adopt a child? You know you can't do that. That's way too hard. It's going to cost a lot of money. And by the way, do you even like those people? Whoa! We heard a lot of that. But we put a new reality within our minds, a new reality that dismantled our old reality, our old structure. Is this ringing any bells? Yes. Oh, good. I'm so glad. Mae Jemison didn't fight her current reality. She turned her life from that point, what it had been up to that point, into a launch point. It was a launch pad for her new life. So how do you know it's a sacred yes? How do you know? It's not a yes to a checklist or an obligation. I know we all have our to-do lists. I know we have all of that. It's not that. It's deeper than that. It's less about decision-making and more about recognition, recognizing what's already alive within us. And those things can be alive, and you might think they're dormant, but they're actually still alive within us. They always, always are. And it is that way in which we are being called to be more alive. So we give our sacred yes to the divine love that is absolutely already present within us. It got us here. It got us here, and there's more always to be revealed. And the path is going to shift, it's going to move. And, frequently I think that when we say, I am saying yes to my path, to my divine love, to that, to all of it, this is what yes has to do with it. We think it's all going to just smooth sailing. Oh, easy, no problem, no stumbling. And again, as my son would probably say, oh, that's adorable. Because in this sacred yes, what we are doing is moving into becoming a space for transformation. We are moving into that space for transformation. So the life is always waiting for us. It was waiting for her. What is the life that is waiting for you? Are you willing to let go of the life that you planned, that the life that you thought you were going to have forever? And it doesn't mean that the life you have been living up to this point or that point is wrong, but is it possible that there's a movement going on? And are you willing to let go of the life you planned? Are you willing to let go of the habits that you had embraced? Are you willing to shift the beliefs and the limitations that you thought, well, this is just how it is. This is just how it is. Which my beloved friends and family, everybody here, when I do that, I have to bust myself because it's lazy thinking. When I just say that's how it is, because it's not how it is. There's a difference between how it is and how I am, the divine I am, that each of you is an expression of the divine I am. We are not limited by that's how it is. Never. So if you are willing to let go of the life you planned, are you ready to shed the skin of the life you thought you were going to have in order to live the life that is reaching out to you from within now? The poet, songwriter Patti Smith wrote, "We go through life, we shed our skins, we become ourselves. We become ourselves." And again, Ernest Holmes, we have within us a power that is greater than anything we shall ever contact in the outer. Anything. And that includes the current political landscape, by the way. Anything that's going on, this power is greater than that. It's a power that can overcome every obstacle in our lives and set us safe, satisfied, and at peace, healed and prosperous in a new light and in a new life. That power is never dormant. It never goes away. It never abandons us. We are surrounded and filled by that presence and that power. And it is always lovingly tapping us on the shoulder and saying, my beloved, will you come now or will you come later? Will you come now or will you come later? So this power is love. And I'm not talking the smushy Valentine's Day kind of love. I'm talking that divine power that is always expressing. It is the verb love. It is the activity of love. It is the movement of love, the flow of love. Our very breath is that love. Our very breath is that love. Ernest Holmes wrote, through the power of love, we can let go of past history. Well, thank God for that, and begin again. Because love heals, love forgives, love makes whole. And it alchemizes us. It alchemizes us and our lives into places and spaces for growth, for possibility, for healing, for transformation. And here's a word that really doesn't get enough airplay, and that's hope. It's hope. This last week, I'm going to skip ahead here. Many of us, we saw the completion of a journey. Now, many of us have been following this walk for peace that the monks from Wangdao Temple in Fort Worth, Texas, began more than 2 months ago. These beautiful and gentle monks finally reached their destination of Washington, D.C. last week, and their leader, Venerable Bhikkhu Panakara, spoke at the National Cathedral along with many other religious and faith leaders. Now, he offered these words, and I really, really was moved. He said, the walk was not to bring you peace, not to bring you any peace, but to raise the awareness of peace so that you can unlock that box and set it free. Unlock that box and free the peace. And he continued, now it's your job. It's your duty to find it and unlock it. You're the only one who can do this, not the venerable monks, not the reverends, nor anybody else but you. He also said this, it might take 7 days, 7 months, 7 years to find inner peace. But each and every single one of us, we have our own path. And please remember, don't expect our path to be smooth and flat. So walking this journey means doing the real work of spiritual growth and doing the real work of cultivating peace. It means becoming a willing vessel for that peace. And it's really hard to do it with a closed fist. It's really hard to do it with resistance. I know that some of you were here the day about a year ago, and I'll do it again sometime, where I asked everybody to make a fist. And then I started tossing out crumpled dollar bills and $2 bills to everybody. And those of you who realized that this wasn't a matter of Simon Says or Mother May I, you actually opened your fists and you caught the money. Because the idea is we can't receive with a closed fist. We cannot give, we cannot receive. And so right now I'm going to have Aaron show a video that is a really beautiful melding of the walk of the monks, and it's put together with a song from one of my girlfriends, Karen Drucker. And so I want you to take this moment in and take in this whole experience of what it is to walk your talk, to be the movement of peace. I'm going to ask for the lights to come down so we can really see this.
In beauty, may I walk all day long. May I walk through the seasons. May I walk in peace. May I walk in peace. On this path, may I walk through my life. May I walk in old age. May I walk in peace. May I walk in peace. May I walk, 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 may I walk in peace. walk, always walk
in peace.
in peace.
May we walk
May we walk
in peace.
in peace.
May I walk
May I walk with loving kindness,
in peace.
in love,
May you walk
in joy,
in peace.
in love.
May we walk
May we walk.
in peace.
And I really believe that is up to us to hear those words. May we walk in peace. May we move in peace. May we speak in peace. May we breathe in peace. Alan Watts, the philosopher, the psychologist, said, "You don't attract what you want. You attract who you are. You attract what you are." So we are not here to, we think we're going to attract what we desire because we've seen all of these things about attraction and manifestation and all of that. But the very big truth is we get who and what we are. So may we remember that that walk of peace is not something that other people do for us, that they model it for us, that they offer it as a path and as a metaphor for that which we can do. And may we also remember that the path will not be smooth. And may we also remember that in those moments when we are looking out at the world and saying, "Oh my God, with what's going on, well, that's just the way it is." Damn it, that's lazy thinking. And you and I do not have to default to that kind of cynicism, that kind of resignation. We have this infinite power within us in which we can say, "I walk as God. I walk as peace. I am willing to know that about myself. I'm willing to know that about everyone else around me." Because don't forget the power of blessing. When we bless someone, it's easy to bless someone you love, right? Really easy. How easy is it for you to bless someone you don't love? How easy is it for you to bless political leadership, church leadership, families, your neighbors, people in line at the grocery store? That's the real work of spiritual practice. That's the real work. And that's what we are here to do. And we're here to do it together. And absolutely, our stuff is going to bump up against each other. It is going to be, when two or more are gathered, there's going to be friction. And we are often going to be expressing through filters that perhaps aren't the healthiest part of us. And on that note, I need to own something. And I need to apologize because last week I responded. I'm always teaching about responding or reacting. And I reacted to something from a filter. I did not respond in love. I reacted from a filter. So, Sam Crutcher, I apologize because I humiliated you. And that was not a high and holy response. And so he and I have talked and we've cleaned it up. And I'm doing deep work on what it was in me that got triggered in that, because I want to do my best. I want to be a presence that walks. I want to be a presence of peace and compassion and possibility. I want to live as Howard Thurman said. He said, "Don't ask yourself what the world needs. Ask yourself what makes you come alive, and go do that, because the world needs people who have come alive." And he continued, "There is something in every one of you that waits and listens for the sound of the genuine in yourself." That's that sacred yes. That's that sacred love. That's what love has to do with it. It is the only true guide you will ever have. And if you cannot hear it, you will all of your life spend your days on the strings that somebody else pulls. So, in a minute, I'm going to introduce you to someone who has been navigating and mapping that navigation of the sacred yes for years and years in her life. Today we're going to bear witness to a marking point of her journey. And we're going to celebrate her walk for peace. You all get to be witness to this, and you get to participate in consciousness and to see the result of deep love, spiritual education, and the willingness to grow, the willingness to walk in peace, the willingness to walk past the stumbles, the willing to take those rocks and not call them stumbling blocks, but actually stepping stones. So Lynn Romanowski, would you please come forward? Would you pull that mic over? So, I want to talk about what's going on here and what a joy it is to be gathered in this holy place. It is a space not only of spiritual practice and divine potential, but of new beginnings. And today we get to witness something very historic. This is a first. It is the installation of our very first chaplain at the North Hollywood Church of Religious Science, a oneness center. And that chaplain is our beloved practitioner emeritus, Lynn Romanowski. Oh, you are just smiling from the inside out. Man, I could read by this light if I wanted to. This moment is a sacred rite of passage. It's a yes to Spirit's call. It is a yes to service. It is a yes to presence. That's what love has to do with it. It is a yes to being the compassionate heart of the spiritual community in times of celebration and in times of challenge. As I said, it's easy to bless someone you like. It's easy to go through those wonderful affirmations and look at this, I accomplished this, I accomplished that, but it is not so easy to move into and as the flow of life and to allow for the stuff that happens. So today we affirm that a chaplain is not merely someone who prays with us, though that's definitely part of it, but someone who sees us. You hold the high watch when we have forgotten. You hold that. You remind us of truth, the high and holy capital T truth when the facts seem really loud, and we are definitely in a time when the facts can seem really loud. And you are someone who is willing to stand in clarity, stillness, and love. So Lynn has been called to the sacred ministry of chaplaincy. She has answered with her whole heart, her spiritual maturity, and a deep willingness to be an instrument of the divine. May we all use you as our model. She has demonstrated her love for this teaching. She has demonstrated her capacity to serve and her strength to walk with others through their spiritual journeys. This is the true midwife. This is the true midwife. And she knows, as Ernest Holmes, our founder, taught, that love points the way, and law, spiritual law, makes the way possible. It's just as Alan Watts said that I quoted earlier. We attract that who and what we are. We attract that which we are, and she is truly love. So today we're going to consecrate your path. All of us. I don't have the power to do this, but together we get to affirm it and consecrate it. And by the way, this doesn't make me any more sacred or special. It just reminds me to stay in integrity, just so you know. So how do we use our chaplain? We were talking about this. As our chaplain, Lynn is available to support this beloved community during times of illness, grief, emotional overwhelm, major life transitions, maybe such as aging, caregiving, loss, divorce, significant change. You know, you may reach out to her when you need compassionate, confidential listening and steady spiritual presence. Now, this is something that our practitioners also offer, and it's really powerful. We have practitioners. In fact, I'm going to go off script for a minute. If you are a practitioner, would you please stand?
These are the backbone of my practice and your lives here.
Lynn just said this is the backbone of her practice and her life, and these are only about 5 people. We've got like 25 people. Thank you so much. Please be seated. So you are available through referrals from ministers or practitioners, and chaplains offer care that help people feel seen, supported, connected. You serve as a bridge, don't you, to additional spiritual or professional resources when appropriate. So, Alum, would you please come up? Alum.
Nesh Tekli.
So this is Alum, who is a longtime friend of Lynn's. So Lynn, let me move here, and I'm going to ask you to step back a little bit Don't trip on the guitar. Alam, I'm going to ask you to come up here and to stand behind Lynn, if you will. Okay. Okay. You're directing all the time. Lynn,
This is my baby girl.
I know. You are being called into a sacred office. It is of support, spiritual support, deep listening, and unwavering faith. You are a healing presence, a prayerful presence, and a presence of calm assurance rooted in truth. You are being asked by Spirit and by this beloved community and by your own higher self, first and foremost, to be the living embodiment of compassion, of spiritual integrity, and sacred service. You are as those monks. You are here to walk that talk and to walk with us. And so I ask you now, in the presence and power of God before this congregation and in the high holy truth of your own soul, Lynn, do you commit to serve this community with love, grace, and compassion, honoring the inherent divinity in every being?
I am willing.
Do you commit to practice and to model the spiritual principles of science of mind, remaining grounded in oneness, love, and wholeness in every encounter?
I am willing.
You sense a theme here, right? Do you commit to keep your consciousness lifted, your heart open, and your trust rooted in spirit, even when others come to you in fear, sorrow, or confusion?
For sure.
All right. And do you accept this office? There's more. Do you accept this office of chaplain as a sacred responsibility? And will you allow Spirit to work through you for the healing, upliftment, and transformation of others?
I stand in God.
That's a yes, right? Okay,
I am willing.
good. So now I want to ask you, beloved community, will you support, uplift, and affirm Lynn in her chaplaincy? Will you hold her in prayer, trust her with your hearts, and see her not only as a friend, but as a spiritual leader and a presence of the divine? If so, please respond, we will. We will. I love it. Lynn, now in the presence of all of the love in this sanctuary, I ask this beautiful, beautiful representative of love, who is Alam, to place your chaplain stole around you. So now, Lynn, by the power vested in me through Spirit and this beloved community, I now bless you, and I install you as the first chaplain of the North Hollywood Church of Religious Science, a oneness center for spiritual living. And may you always know that you do not walk alone. Spirit walks with you. We walk with you. You are a lamp of peace, a vessel of prayer, and a midwife for spiritual awakening. And in case you ever forget, we have a certificate.
I love documentation.
I do too. Suitable for framing. It has been signed by both me and the president of our board, Gail Palat. We love you. We see you. We bless you. We welcome you, and we are grateful for you. And so I have asked Lynn to give us a brief little visit from her heart and her soul, and so she's going to speak to you just a bit about this journey and what you're here to do, I think.
Yeah.
Right in there.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. I am Chaplain Lynn Romanowski. So you all received this flyer, and on it is what is called the karoo, the green thing.
And in the middle of that, in Maori, because the symbol is from New Zealand, is this prayer. What is the most important thing? It is people, it is people, it is people. You are the many faces of God. You walk here as divine emanations. You are made in the image and likeness of God. So, you are the center of my chaplaincy. That's how I'm trained, not only as a religious science practitioner, but as chaplain. So how I can be available to you, and I want you to know that this was a 9-month journey, and so I'm inviting you to coffee, cake, and chocolate with the chaplain on Wednesday, the first Wednesday of the month, right after the Elder Wisdom Group. Reverend Tricia has been so kind as to give me that space right after her. And all I want you to do, or to be, is just come and sit. It doesn't have to be anything profound. You know, you can tell me about the flowers blooming in your garden, or the ant problem. I don't care. What I want you to hear about the chaplaincy that's different from the ministers and the practitioners is that I am going to be a presence for you to pop in and see. If you want more, there's a telephone number. There are Zoom times, there whatever you want. But there will be chocolate. And if you don't like chocolate, please mention that when you're with me and I'll get you whatever you want. It came from the visioning. And I want you to know that there's a whole team of people who got me up here. Thank you. And I want you to also know one other thing. Before we had caring circles, we, the religious science practitioners, went to hospitals and to homes to visit people when they were unwell or at the end of their life. Please know that that is part of my journey. And stop me anytime to ask any question. My 3 minutes are up. I love you all. I thank you profusely.
We give you your roses now.
I hear you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I'm going this way.
You're going to go this way. All right. She's going that way. So as we complete this service, let's anchor this moment. Let's anchor all of it in prayer. Recognizing the infinite spirit, the infinite presence and power, the all in all heart of compassion, the mind of clarity, we first give thanks for Lynn Romanowski and her vision, which though she said 9 months, I want you to know, lifelong journey to this point. We bless that sacred commitment. May she be blessed with wisdom, strength, serenity, and the profound joy of sacred service. May she always know the presence within her as she recognizes the presence within each of us. May she be that presence. And so, as we take that same energy, that presence, that love, that blessing, I surround everyone here in a space of light, of sacred healing light. It is a circle that is impenetrable, invulnerable, and invincible. A ring past nothing shall touch us but the direct action of God, and that is love. This is the truth. God knows it, I know it, and I know that I know it. And we extend that same love and that circle to the world beyond these walls, the world beyond this parking lot, so that we bless all churches, all paths to God, all mosques, all temples, all ashrams, all synagogues, all cathedrals, wherever 2 or more people, wherever one person gathers in recognition of life itself, we know that the light shines brighter. So we surround this entire planet. Where there appears to be confusion and discord, we know that the presence of love is greater than all of that. Where there appears to be fear, we know that love passes all understanding. Where there appears to be pain or loss, we know that love is greater than that, and that this principle of love cannot be bound by limiting beliefs, by precedent, or anything that has come before. We know that love is the truth. It flows through us. We are willing to have it act as us, and we bless every aspect of that love and this community. How wonderful to know that we come together. So in gratitude, I release this word into the activity of the law that is God, that is spirit, that is love, knowing it is already so. And together we say, Amen.